I think it goes back to educating yourself. Like, just kind of being in that cycle of public education, private education versus your own education. And I'm really just learning the value of, okay, you're passionate about something. You don't necessarily have to go for another degree. You can maybe watch a Skillshare series, engage in that, or YouTube. Like, I've learned so much from going on YouTube and watching different channels and learning about things like filmmaking and cinematography. Like, those things weren't necessarily on my radar. But like, I'm a vlogger, I'm a cinematographer, I make my own mini documentary series. I collaborated with my wife to create a documentary series on, my brother-in-law, her brother, and just him getting out of a situation where he was not incarcerated.
Yep.
And I realized, like, I love comic books. I don't necessarily enjoy making them because it's just like so much that goes into it. Like, I enjoyed that because I was able to work with Sky Zoo.
I got his book.
Yeah,
he signed it.
Exactly. He had the album. He had the source material. We were able to just knock it out. It was like a certain amount of tracks. Boom. But in general, I think I've been able to take that visual language, my love of film, TV, angles, dynamic cinematography, and apply it to vlogging and education. Like, I just had a comment today on one of my YouTube videos on me just going to New York and having an experience.
So now since you said YouTube videos, and we can still stay on that subject until we got one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
And they want to find your YouTube channel. How can they find it?
Sure. It's at Raheem Nelson. That's RaheemNelson, and that's my channel.
Shout out to that, because I like when you say certain things, I'm listening. So
no, yeah, this is appreciated. Yeah. So I'm trying to get those watch hours up. I'm trying to be a YouTube partner.
Well, we appreciate it. Listen, when he makes it to the top, I'm going to be calling them, emailing them. Listen, don't forget me. I'm going to be waving. Last question for today. What's your opinion on George Floyd when the cop killed him and choked him on the curb? Last question for today.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of think pieces on this, and I remember shortly after it happened, around the global pandemic, when you absolutely had to pay attention. And I didn't even really know about George Floyd until after his passing. And I follow this dude on YouTube. He talks about politics and the plight of black men, black women, black people, FD signifier. And he's amazing. Like, he's opened my eyes to so many different things, including looking back at George Floyd. And he called George Floyd like a working person and around the way black dude. And what he got, he definitely did not deserve. Like, it was uncalled for and unnecessary. And if I remember it right, like, he called out to his mother before he passed. And it just kind of, like, that type of stuff, like, hurts my heart that it happened to him and it happened to his family. And I really wish racism and discriminatory practices weren't a thing, because none of us deserve that. Like, you don't have to wear a suit and tie or whatever like me to be treated like a person.
Very true.
I wear what I wear because
you're a fly dude. You're a mentor. You're a fly dude. You're a mentor. We appreciate you, bro.
In part, it's actually a suit of armor that keeps me out of trouble. Like, I absolutely enjoy it. Like, I love dressing up and all that stuff. But part of it is like, hey, I realize if I were just wear like hoodie sweats all the time, like, I might get profiled. This, that, and the third might happen. So it is also keeping in mind that we as black people are actually seen as less than human. And George Floyd was seen as less than human. And that allowed his life to be taken like that. He did not deserve that. He did not ask for that. And there were so many circumstances, even going back to Reaganomics, they have created this environment where those type of things could happen in. So like just the fact that we have our Beyoncés and our Jay-Z's and our Sky Zoos is just like a testament of us as a people that we not only persevere but like we move the needle forward despite the fact that so many people, including this current administration, see us as less than human. So blessings up to George Floyd's family. Like he did not deserve any of that.
Last question. I just had an additional question. This is the end of part one, but I gotta give him.
Oh, as many as you want. Go for it.
This is just off the top. What's your opinion on the 13 prisoners that escaped from Louisiana prison and they caught them all when they jumped through the toilet to got out, but they just got all of them caught except one of them is still on the run. What do you think about the Louisiana jail system where 13 people can escape that are supposed to be mass criminals, and they threatened somebody, they put a hole in the toilet and escaped it, and they finally caught all of them but one? How could the government system that is saying they're for the people let that go down maybe like 2.5 months ago?
Well, clearly they're not for the people to have that happen, and it's terrible that there are these conditions. And I think of like places like Switzerland, where they're really like more about reform, like actual reform, and having people better themselves instead of creating a system of slave labor and imprisonment. And I just look at the prison industrial complex in general, and a lot of the knowledge I currently have is through my wife and her advocacy, and I just think it's really effing terrible that there are these circumstances like, if you're going to do a crime, do the time, I understand that, but there should also be a place to rehabilitate. And I look at the other places in the world like Switzerland that will rehabilitate versus the U.S. was like, okay, well, you're incarcerated, so, well, we're going to get slave labor out of you. And that is not pouring back into the community, and is not creating any systems for people to better themselves and atone for what they've done. And it's just really messed up at the end of the day that our prison industrial complex just continues to operate as a business.
So what would you say for those that help those inmates get out and still got to put themselves in situations that got them incarcerated? What would you say to those individuals that help these people escape, but now they're in situations like these individuals that's going back to the incarceration system?
What I would say is, like, I think they did what they felt they had to do because of empathy. Like, I always try to see the good in people. But at the end of the day, I think, like, who wants to see somebody else suffer? Like, people get arrested for heinous crimes, and people get arrested for, like, BS. Like, you're gonna arrest somebody for smoking weed or distributing or whatever. It's like, it really does not work at all. So I think despite the fact that people may do A, B, and C, there should still be an opportunity to rehabilitate and atone. And I don't think the United States is really about that. Like, the United States, clearly with our president, is about having things be ran as a business.
As they're wanted.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like super frustrating. And like that's why I create books like that talk about the crack epidemic in the 1980s and talk about this show Snowfall that is based on reality. So it all ties back into creating art with a message.
We appreciate it. Hey, any shout outs you want to make on part one, bro? We appreciate you. I know I had like 2 hours of your time, but I appreciate
This was an amazing 2 hours.
Any shout outs you want to make?
Oh, so first and foremost, I'm going to shout out my wife, Raisha Bibbins.
Shout out to that.
She is a therapist, creative entrepreneur. She works at the Center of Aesthetic Dentistry, doing amazing things and just creating profit for the entire dentistry. And we're having an event in Miami next week, I believe.
Shout out to that.
The Epic Networking Party, Miami. It's going to be incredible. So shout out to her, my partner, my loved one. Shout out to my bonus daughter, Desiree. She's going to be getting into communications. She's going to be in New York.